Hey guys, hello, how is everyone? Yeah, we're just going to start right away. How is everyone? Just want to do some concept art. Maybe before we do that, let me first. Hey, gamer Upayan, gamer, how are you doing? Glad to see you back. Let me just show what we did in the previous stream for those of you who didn't get to watch the final render. So yeah, this is what we did in the previous live stream. Today we're just going to do some concept art. I have a few reference images on my second screen that we are going to be basing off, but I guess we can just get right at it, and anyone else who joins in can find us there. First set up my camera aspect ratio and try 1080. Yeah, can go with something like this. And let me set up. Hello, Bryant, Bud, how are you doing? How are you doing? And start with some. Hello, Deepak, how are you doing? Glad to see you back. I'm getting good at remembering you guys nowadays. I'm not very forgetful as I used to be, I think now. At least I can memorize some of your names, which is great, I think. Good to know, man. Good to know. Yeah, we're just going to start off with some concept art. I'm great. I am great. I'm not really sure what I have in mind today, but I just want to do some stuff. Let me see. Let's do this. Just want to see what we are able to come up with. Sir, can you teach us handheld camera? Yeah, I think I can do that. After we set up everything, we can do a simple animation, a simple handheld animation, I think. Let's do add an image sieve shader here. Just playing around, see what works, see what doesn't. Turn on some bloom. Just I like to play with this what is it called, the light probe reflection plane. I think my scene is also a bit too large, so let me bring things a bit closer. Love your videos, really informative, appreciate it. Thank you, Subtash. Thank you. Glad you are finding them useful. Okay, now we're getting some nice reflections now. Just play with that. And I think we can also add in, if I get rid of this light, We can use, let's try using an area light somewhere, and I make it the same. We turn on random colors here. Let's give it the same color so that we fake some illumination. Love your videos, bro. Pronoob, thank you. So, what's your age? I'm quite old. I'm 29. Is it? I think 29. I'm not very sure. I would have to check my birth certificate, but yeah. So it would be, I think, 29 in April. Sorry, 30 in April. Time flies like that. Let's see. Okay, and some glow effect like that. "13, nice. So you're learning at a very early age. Great. Okay, I think we can add in a character standing here. Let's go. I don't think I have any good characters, but let me try to find something from my kit bash. Actually, I think the cloth library has a good female character we can use. So let me just use her. Just get. Yeah, I think our scene is quite too large, so I think we can scale it down even further, just so just bring this light, scale it down as well. Just have to be a little, it has to be above her to be able to illuminate her in the way we want to. Just call it neon. Just have it here. Neon scene. Just get some, give her some trousers. This here. Let me go to the pre-made. Let me find something that's already pre-made. I think maybe these ones here. What am I doing wrong? It seems I'm having a bug here. Let me see what's going on. I want this one. Okay, let's go with that. And a very tight shirt. Just going to connect this. So can you make like it like a Doctor Strange portal with sparks? I think I can do something like that. Let me have a rotate Z 180 degrees. So she's facing, and maybe let me bring her closer to the camera. And I just set up some lighting on her just a bit. Just want mostly her silhouette. And we give her some pose. Looks like you can solve any problem in Blender. You're definitely a Blender guru. Well, yeah, that's a thank you, I guess, but no, I can't really. There are a lot of problems I can't solve. I want to give her like a lightsaber. Maybe she's I think I can bring her a little bit up. Let me add in some volumetrics. Always makes the scene look a bit better, I think. And you don't really need to use a box. You can also use the world settings and just add a shader principal volume, and that should give you the volume anywhere you want it. I really like the reflective surface. Thank you. Let me see if I give this some emissive, a very low emissive value. Something like that. I want to give her a lightsaber. I think for that I can just do something simple. I'm going to use a plane like this. I'm not going to model the entire lightsaber, just going to create the... So my character has the fingers are not rigged, so I'm not going to worry too much about those. Maybe you can just Turn on proportional editing. And just rotate the hands a bit. Hello Lapish, glad to see you back. How are you doing? How was your day? How was everything? And anyone in chat, how was your day, basically? Or how was your weekend, to be specific? So this is going to be our basic lightsaber. Nothing fancy, just so to make it look realistic, we're going to create the laser beam using some texturing. So let me unwrap this, and let's create some procedural laser beam. Let me first switch this to the UV editor. So this is how our UV looks. I think we can use. I'm doing fine. I'm gonna start doing my mailbox for the scene now. Glad to see that you're starting to work on that. I messed around with some rendering stuff to make it as fast as possible. Got the time down. Got the time down quite a bit. So now I'm gonna actually do the modeling. Nice. I just don't forget to share what you've done. My day is great. My day was great. I didn't do a lot. I just went for some swimming and then got back. That's it. Didn't do much. I'm also trying to get into forex trading. I lost a few dollars attempting that, but I guess that was the most exciting part of what I did today. I'm trying to venture out so that I don't want my income to be based on my my hobby, because right now Blender is like a hobby. I do it because I love it, but it's also my income depends on Blender, and I don't want to mix my hobbies with my source of income, because then it takes the fun out of things. So what I want to do is get into forex trading, see if I have the mind for it, and see how that goes. But the first attempt wasn't really that great. Though I didn't really lose that much. I lost about, was it $16? Yeah, trying to do some trading, but it was the first start. Anyway, so I want to create. I think we can use a texture, gradient texture, to create the beam itself. And we're going to use our UV coordinate mapping. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta get some physical exercise. Yeah, you should. I want to join the live stream, but I have class tomorrow. No, we will do another live stream tomorrow, maybe another day. It will be if you have to go for class, that's okay, man. I'll be here tomorrow or the next day. But trading is in general just isn't for me. Though it's too risky for my weak heart to accept. Yeah, I'm just trying to diversify my sources of income. So I don't know if I have the mind for it as well. So, but you just have to try sometimes and see. So I want this. I want to use our spherical UV map. So let me first expand this. Actually, let me first isolate this. So you can see if I move, you can see how we are creating that strip of light. That's going to be our That's going to be our what? Our laser beam. Yeah, diversifying is great. Yeah. And right now, I have I have some passive income sources, but they're not like absolutely passive. So they require me to do some work, which I'm okay with. But that also means that most of what I do, most of my income is dependent on my mood. So if I'm not in a mood to work, then my wallet is hit. No, I mean Eevee. Yeah, so I think we are getting in some nice details. So I can use a shader emission and then a shader transparency, and just use this as the factor. And since we're in Eevee, I need to make sure that I have this turned, the blending mode turned on. Blending mode turned on. Let me first look at the factor. So, okay. We should already start to see. Let me see transparency, and let me just switch this around. Yeah, so this is going to be our. Let me just give it some color. And I think the strength has to be quite powerful. So that's going to be our. I think I can duplicate this, rotate it on the x-axis. Yeah, so this is going to be this. And I can also duplicate this. So it's that kind of a pointy. I think I messed up here, but yes, have to grab that side, duplicate it, how do you have that emission working in the background? What emission? You mean the, okay, I'm not sure what emission do you mean? I just grab this. Yes. The big cube, this one here, is just a plane with an emission shader. It's just a square with an emission shader. Let me go back to the world and play with the density here. I think let me increase the strength for this. And because we're in Eevee, I have to add a light for the illumination effect. And I think we can use an area light. Just going to give it the same rotation like we have here. Just make sure that it's a rectangle. Just make it a thin and just kind of position it like that, so it will give us that nice reflection and a glow. And also just mirror this. Just give these shoes a nice reflective material as well. And just make, instead of giving her, just grab everything below here and make them into pants. Yeah, but for some reason emission doesn't work for me in Eevee. What do you mean? It doesn't work. Maybe that's a bug, because for me it works just fine and without doing a lot. Can give this a little bit more detail. Yeah, it could be a bug on your side. Now we're just lacking detail in the back there, so let's see what we can do. Yes. Let's start adding in some elements. Let me play with the surface here. The material I have right now is not really working for me. Now before I do that, let me go to my collections and find it bash. Let me add in another character at the back there. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. You just have him stand there. There, we can also give him some basic lighting so that it's a bit visible. Maybe just have this light and for this light we don't really need the volumetrics. Just want to give him a nice light illumination so that is quite visible, so that his silhouette is visible. Then for the ground here, let me try a different material. Let's try this. Yes. Change this to something different. Hello, Serene. How are you doing? How are you? I'm great. Okay, for sure. How are you doing? We can start adding in other objects to make the scene look more. And I think I can go to my city building or buildings parts. Is it building parts? Let me see. In my city pack, city pack, and start bringing in some buildings to have in the background. I just want them to be deep in the background, just as simple silhouettes. You are simply just a great artist, and all your content is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Techman100. Thank you. Just going to add in, let me see if I add in a light here. Just so some of these buildings are visible. If I go back to the world settings, let me see if I have this, the emission, okay, maybe that's too harsh. We want to have some buildings like that, just so we have some detail for that side. I have a dustbin here and have it just increase my ambient occlusion, and I'm not very keen on this material so let me find another material again for the ground. Maybe let me go back to this, make it more reflective. You can add in a few shops. I have a few shop buildings, so I think I can add those in. What is the asset library too? So that's my own add-on that I use to importing just assets that I've already used. It just helps me manage my already made materials or objects. Hi Anton, how are you? Yeah, so this is just my add-on, and you can check it out if you want to just to see the other add-ons I have. You can go to that link I've provided, and you should be able to see kind of all the add-ons that I usually use. If you want to check those out, if you want to see those, just want to add some kind of a shop here. Yes, also let me see. I think I can use a translucent material for this part here, so that I can use a light on the back here to illuminate these buildings are from the back instead of at the front. Something like this. It just makes the... Is this add-on one-time pay license? Yes, it is. It's just, yeah, you only buy it once, and all the updates are free. Just trying to make the background more interesting. Yeah, and buying the add-on also helps me pay some bills, if you know what I mean. Like that. How did you learn Blender? By watching tutorials, like you are doing. Just want to create a visually interesting background. Okay, let's use add. Yeah, you get the updates for free. Yes, adding in some shops here. It's nice. Thank you. I've been trying to make stuff recently, but I'm completely stumped. Stumped by what? Completely stumped. I'm not sure what you mean. Can't get any decent materials. Yeah, materials are kind of hard to create. So if you make them, it's better to reuse. If you make some good ones, it's better to save them somewhere and be able to reuse them. Yeah, thank you, Blind Best, for subscribing, and really appreciate it. Get another light. This, I think I can also duplicate this. So we just want to set up a nice. And just duplicate this. Maybe give this. I don't know. Have another light here. How long have I been using Blender? So about, I don't know, like 10 years, but again, not consistently. Sometimes I would take breaks, and like I think I took a 2-year, 5-year break from Blender once, and I think, yeah, something like that. Nice reflective surface like that. As for ideas, composition, and lighting, go to Pinterest and get cool image and try to remake that. Yeah, that's a great way to learn, as it introduces you to a lot of good lighting ideas from artists who know what they're doing. Learning through imitation, I think that's what it's called. It's a great way to learn. Just going to just want some of the details on the buildings to come through, so I'm adding some light like that. I think I can also rotate this 180 degrees, scale this light quite high. I think I can make this, I don't know, let me see. Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. If us continue with that. Which graphics card do you use? I use a 1060 3GB. Are you selling NFTs? No, I don't even know. I'm not very sure how they work. Yeah, so I don't. And I've heard a lot of artists don't really like NFTs. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I've had not a lot of artists like them. I think if you can make some income off of that, shouldn't be that bad. Hello, Aditya, Jenna, how are you doing? Is that rain? No, I haven't really added in any rain, but I think we can do that. I think we can add in some rain. I've been using it for about a year, not consistently at all. Looks like I will need a lot longer to get good at it. Mostly, you just need to do a lot of practicing to get better or to get good. Let's see if I change the color of this, and so I think I also need to change the world. Like that. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't give this a volume. I'm okay. I'm okay. You made volume from world material? Yes, yes. I chose to use the world material because it creates a volume for the entire, for everywhere. It creates a volume everywhere instead of just specific areas. Let me set this to this 50 so that we get some nice resolution. I'll just keep experimenting and I will learn that way. Yeah. Experimenting will get you there. Thank you for the tutorial. Looks excellent. Thank you. I think she looks like she's floating for some reason. Maybe that has to do with the reflections. Give the character a sword. I gave them kind of a lightsaber because I don't have any good sword materials. I think we can also make these, give the skin color, the skin a bit of surface scattering. I think that gas fees are so high to mint NFTs. Yeah, I've heard of that. That NFTs are not really good for the environment because the way they are created kind of uses a lot of energy, which kind of has an effect on the planet. I myself haven't really gotten into them a lot. I've had a lot of, but I think the hype about them is also dying down. I'm not sure, maybe because I haven't really heard about them in a while. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Scene looks great. Little going in direction of cyberpunk. Yeah, that was the idea. Get something like that. Maybe not in the beginning, but I think yes. Add in a few. It would make the scene look much better if these buildings were lit, but I'm not sure what the best way to have these lit. What is the best way to make the building lit here? So can you show your volume preferences? Volume preferences. I haven't really changed much here except the end distance so that I have better resolution. Instead of rendering all the volumetrics up to this side, I'm just rendering to where I'm using mostly. Okay, let me also turn on volumetric shadows. Let me get my camera, just add pass out like that. That maybe change my aspect ratio as well. Let's see. Let me play with the color management here and make this a bit high contrast. I think I like the green here. We have a lot of colors, so I'm just going to reduce that so that by playing with the colors here, maybe these lights should also have the same color. Relate object data. And also going to give this, usually having a lot of color in your scene doesn't really, I want to have some nice contrast, so that's why you see I'm reducing the colors in the scene. Let me go to my building parts and continue adding in some stuff here. Add some light grid to the window, to the windows. Light grid to the window. What is a light grid? Or do you mean like an emissive plane? Is those front leo buildings transparent? You changing backlights? So the way I've set up these here. Which one? This here. The windows have a translucent material which allows light through them, but these just have a green light like that. Let me see if I get rid of this light. What? Okay, I think I need that. Okay, something like that. Transparent? No, it's a translucent material, non-transparent. Let's see what else can we add in. I can looking for things to add in to make the scene more interesting. Maybe let me drop in a wire here. I'm not sure why a wire would be lying on the ground just like that, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay, this is not the best wire to add in. Can you show this material? Can you show this material? Which material specifically? Oh, the translucent? That should be this. Let me go to object material. You can see it's a simple setup. It's just an image with a translucent material. That's basically it there. Use some textures to light up the building. I guess we can do that because I think I have some building textures. So let me just go to this texture, image texture, go to my resources and go under details. There is this. Yeah, that's yeah, that should give us. I think I can use object. Apply. Let me first apply the rotation of this. It should be box. Yeah. And we can have this set as the emission and the color. And that should give us some building details. And I think if we use a color ramp here, because we don't want the entire wall or the entire building to be emissive, we just want the windows to be emissive. I can just clip out everything else, and this should be the, actually I can just add a shader mix. I can just mix with an emission shader here, and this should be our factor. And this should be like that, and this should be the color. I can make the emission strength quite high, something like 10. Maybe just have the building looking like that. Again, I can also just select these, give them the same material. Let me see, what material is this? Yeah, these can get the same material. And I think this looks like a good, this is a good building. I can just actually, we don't even have to create a lot of buildings. You can just reuse this. You first get rid of this. But then the problem is that now these windows here don't fit the aesthetic of the city. So let me just give them a new collection called X just for backup, and let me go back to my outliner. And something like that. Then for this building, you know what, I think I like this building quite a lot. Let me save it to my asset library in my buildings, city park, building, whatever. Just save it there so that I can reuse it next time. Let me do the same for this. Just need these to have the same material as this. Actually, that also looks great. So let me save it too. Why not? I think I lost my reflection plane, so let me bring that back. I'm not sure if it's even doing anything, but do you think Blender will become studio standard one day? I think for some studios, yes, but no single studio is going to be using actually, sorry, not all studios are going to use the same application for everything. So yeah, Blender is going to be there, but also other applications are going to be there, because most studios, every studio just prefers a different tool. So I don't think we're going to have a situation where only one application dominates the entire industry. just create a nice landscape, cityscape here. It's full of buildings. Just trying to change the composition a bit here. Maybe you can have quite a few of these guys. Just to see how the composition would look. Yes, see. Just playing around with different looks to see what we can get. Maybe have this guy, a single guy in this cube. Let me just use a translucent shader here so that we can see the silhouette of the guy, something like that. Let me get this light. Let's try. Something like that. Let's see if we give this a translucent shade as well. If that it doesn't really do much. Let's keep it like that. I think we can play with the lighting just a bit so that if I get the camera here, see, add some kind of vehicle artifact or aircraft in the distance. Okay, let me see. Let me first get something like this. Let me first play with lighting a bit, and then we can add in some vehicles. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. Haruno Yukinosuka. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but I really appreciate that. Or in the portal. Okay, let's first create a lights collection and just look at how each light is contributing. Okay, so you see how the silhouette is looking. I think I like that. Now, okay, yeah, that we need. Can also add in that. How those, okay. Okay, this light here, this sunlight is too much, and I'm not sure what light this is, but it shouldn't have any volume. Okay, so yeah, it's it gives our character that. Okay, let me see. That halo effect. I think I also need to change her pose so that we can see her and everything else. And the other guy. I'm just going to grab this. Maybe have her there. Hello from Algeria. Hello Iris. How are you doing? Let me just make sure that all of these are light. Apparented. apparently to the bone. Yes. Grab this. What are your system specs? This is my CPU. It's an i5. This is my graphics card, a 1060, 3GB. This is my memory. Nothing spab. But yeah. I think we can also get another guy. Have him lie on the ground like he was defeated or slain by her already. Just pose him like he's already a goner. Hey, thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. So we want him to be something like just going to